Welcome everybody to my newest Let's Play, Final Fantasy I for the Wii Virtual Console. It's a straight port of Final Fantasy from the Nintendo Entertainment System. I'll actually be doing two Let's Plays of this. This first one is going to be featuring Marty, Milo, Wibbly, and Fibs from Marty Mouse House. So here's the story. The world is veiled in darkness. The wind stops, the sea is wild, and the earth begins to rot. The people wait, their only hope, a prophecy. When the world is in darkness, 4 light warriors will come. After a long journey, 4 young warriors arrive, each holding an orb. So here's our start screen here. We want to put the response rate down there up to 8. That determines how fast the text goes in the battle. So we have 6 different classes here. I'll be using 4 of them, and then my other Let's Play of it, I'll use the other 2 classes that I don't use. But we have the fighter class here. We're not going to be using them. They're like a big tank, offensive and defensively. They're pretty good. Thieves, they're pretty much the worst class. They only get good when they class change into ninja. But the other classes we'll be using here are the red mage, the black belt, the white mage, and the black mage. So our first character here is going to be Marty. He's going to be a red mage. A red mage is kind of a jack of all trades. They can use some good armor, some good weapons. They can use some low-level white and black magic. So white magic being healing magic, black magic being offensive, destructive magic. So, jack of all trades, just how Marty Mouse was the jack of all trades. So, our second character is going to be Wibbly. Wibbly was known for his ninja moves. And so I think it's fitting that we have Wibbly being the black belt, the martial artist in the group. Our third character is going to be the healer, the white mage. And as you can see, the white mage sprite there is wearing a hood. So we're going to name our white mage Fibs, because Fibs was a hooded rat from Marty Mouse House. So, and then finally, our last character will be the black mage, the offensive mage. The Black Mage has the highest intelligence growth out of all the characters. Unfortunately, intelligence doesn't do anything in this game. But it's fitting that Milo, who was a scientist on Marty Mouse House, would be a Black Mage, because, you know, both high intelligence. So, there's our party. Marty the Red Mage, Wibbly the Black Belt, Fibs the White Mage, and Milo the Black Mage. So, we start off outside here. Corneria City and Corneria Castle. So let's go to the castle first. Talk with other folks, find what's going on. The king is looking for the light warriors. You do not happen to be them, do you? Well, we just so happen to be them, because you can see up there in the upper left corner, we have 4 orbs that are all darkened. As we defeat the fiends of the elements, those orbs will be restored to light, so... Oh, my sister. But it'll be a while until we actually start fighting the fiends. The game lets you have a bunch of little fetch quests beforehand to power yourself up. The king is looking for the light warriors. You do not happen to be them, do you? Well, we are. In sadness, the queen locked herself inside. Well, she didn't really lock herself inside because you can open the door. I am Jane, queen of Corneria. Please save my daughter, Princess Sarah. What's interesting is Sarah is the name of the woman who started Marty Mouse House. So... Now we have an invisible person here. The princess was looking for you, so... Yeah, I guess they forgot to put the sprite in for that person. Garland used to be a good knight until... Who's Garland? Well, we'll find out after talking to a few people here, so... Please save the princess. So looks like our first quest is not to restore the light to the orbs, but to rescue the princess. Princess Sarah. Wonder what trouble she got herself into. Let's go talk with this one guard down here. He's like the lookout. Reports say that the Garland holds the princess in a temple to the northwest. Yep, that's where the temple is going to be. It's the Temple of Fiends. Luckily, there's not too many places we can go right now. We're kind of locked off. The king is looking for the light warriors. You do not happen to be them, do you? Yes, we are, because we have the orbs. Light warriors, just as in Lucan's prophecy, Garland has kidnapped the princess. Please help her. We will do our best. But we're not really strong enough to... go up there. I mean, we could go up there right away, and you could potentially defeat Garland and rescue the princess, but it's going to be really, really hard. So, what we'll do is we're going to go and do some leveling outside first. But before we do leveling, we want to get some equipment into town. But first, let's go finish talking with the final two people here in the castle back here. 400 years ago, the treasury was locked by the Mystic Key. Our ancestors gave the key to the Prince of Elfland for safekeeping. That's going to be another quest to get that Mystic Key, because there's going to be some important treasure we want to get in here. But as you can see, we can't get in it because it's locked. So that guy says the same thing. The Elf King has the Mystic Key, so... Of course, the Elf King isn't just going to give us the Mystic Key. We're going to have to do something for the elves. But once again, that'll come much later. So, for now, let's just leave through the back of the castle and head into the town. So, towns are where we can get information and supplies. This is Corneria, the Dream City. See your face upon the clean water. How dirty. Come wash your face. Uh-oh. Must got some residue on their face. I am Arlen, the dancer. So we have these buildings here. When they have a little sword in front of them, that means it's a weapon shop. So let's buy some weapons for the characters. I'm gonna buy a small knife for Milo. We'll buy the wooden nunchucks for Wibbly. Eventually, Wibbly's gonna be better with just his bare hands, but for now, the nunchucks are the best bet for him. Marty will get a rapier, and Fibs will get the iron hammer. If you're having fighters, you want them with rapiers. If you have thieves, you get the rapiers for them as well. Warriors, revive the power of the orbs. Now, buildings with a shield on them, that's your armor store. So let's buy some armor. So cloth will go to our two mages, our pure mages, the white mage and black mage, Fibs and Milo. Wibbly will get some wooden armor. That must be very uncomfortable. And Marty will get the chainmail. Now you have to equip your weapons and armor to actually have their benefit on them. So for right now, I see he does 5 damage, 7% hit rate. Let's equip weapons, and we'll see that those numbers will go up a little bit. Same thing with the armor. We'll see that the defensive numbers will go up. So yeah, now he does 7 damage and he has a 12% hit rate. He also absorb a little bit more and evade a little bit more. Experience points, he has 0, but at 40 experience points he'll gain a level up. And some of the other stats over there will go up. So, now that, please save the princess. That hit percentage is a little misleading. Lucan left this town to join his colleagues at Crescent Lake. That hit percentage doesn't mean that's your percent to hit when you attack. What the hit percentage is when you hit 32, you gain an extra attack. So right now, everybody only has 1 attack. But when they hit 32 hit percent, they will gain a second attack. So it'll say like hit twice, or potentially hit twice. So, and characters, there's hit percentage based on weapons, and also as you gain levels, depending on your class, you gain a certain amount of percentage towards your hits. So mages get lower, where fighters will get higher. So we had that little magic shop there. If it has if it's white, that's white magic. If it's black, it's black magic. The king is sure that someday the Light Warriors will come to save the princess, just as in Lucan's prophecy. Now, lady walked right away and we tried to talk with her. Please save the princess. Now, the building with the heart, if a character is defeated in battle, you can come here and you can revive them for a certain amount of gold. The higher your level, the more gold it costs. And here we have like the item shop. They're the items, they're the shops with a little like picture on them. Heal potions restore 30 hit points, pure potions remove poison, and tents are kind of like an inn outside. You can use it on the outside. Inns are where you go to save your game. It also restores your hit points and your magic charges to full. Tents will restore some hit points, but not your magic charges. So we have our first little enemy here, the imps. So, imps are pretty weak. Most of our characters should be able to take them out in one hit, except for Milo. Now, what the interesting thing is with fighting is if you defeat a character, an enemy, and somebody else targets that enemy, it'll be an ineffective attack. So you gotta be strategic in how you attack. It's not like future Final Fantasies where if your target is defeated, the other characters will auto-target a different enemy. That doesn't happen until Final Fantasy 3 when that happens. But for now, so you gotta like kind of understand what your characters, the damage they can do. For the most part, like I said, everybody other than Milo should be able to defeat an imp in one hit. They're pretty easy enemies, and they only have 6 hit points. So, unfortunately, we're missing a lot there. So. Now, it has their experience, so, for instance, these imps, they give 6 experience each. So, you multiply the amount of imps they have by the experience, so 4 times 6 is 24, and then you divide that by the amount of characters that you have alive at the end of the battle. So, each of us should gain 6 experience points. So, now, of course, if you had less characters alive, say you only had 3 characters, then everyone would gain 8. But we want to keep everybody alive. So here's another new enemy, the Gray Imp. So a little bit stronger than the imps. So we're going to have our 2 best fighters, Wibbly and Marty, attack the Gray Imps, and then we can have our lesser fighters, Fibs and Milo, go after the regular imps in the back. Luckily, there's no like rows in this game, like in future Final Fantasies, where like enemies in the back row would take less damage, be harder to hit. It doesn't work that way here. There is rows in a sense, though, for your characters. So the reason I set my characters up the way I did was because of their defense and hit points. So the character in the front slot where Marty is, they have a 50% chance to get attacked by the enemy. The character in Wibbly's position, the second position, has a 25% chance to get attacked. And then the characters in the third and the fourth have roughly the same amount to get hit, 12.5. It's roughly that. It's slightly higher for the character in 3. I think it's 12.7, and then in the bottom character is 12.3. But it's roughly, 12.5. So basically, half the time to get hit in the character in the first slot. 1/4 chance to get hit in the second slot, and then 1/8 in the third and the fourth slot. So I'm very close to a level, but I'm also kind of hurting pretty bad. But I'm very close to that level, so I'm going to gain the level before I go into the inn to heal up. So now the way I'm buying spells, I'm kind of obsessive compulsive. So I didn't necessarily buy the best spells right away. I bought Fibs, his Aru spell, which makes him harder to hit, which would be good against bosses. And I bought the Harm spell, which is good against undead enemies. It actually hits all undead, but it only does damage to undead. Eventually I'm going to want to get a Cure spell for Fibs. That'll be his last white magic spell. And I want to get Fire and Lightning spells for both Marty and Milo. And Marty will also get a Cure spell. Marty being a red mage, he can use both white and black magic, but he can't use the higher level spells. So that's his little downside. So, but red mage, probably the best class, or second best class in the game. Most people agree that the fighter is probably the best class because he just is such a defensive powerhouse, and he gets a lot of good weapons to also be an offensive powerhouse as well. So, now for pure damaging attack, though, the black belt will become the most powerful in terms of pure offensive, but he can't use a lot of equipment, so he's kind of like your glass cannon of the game. So here we got to level up. Characters at each level have there's 5 stats you get. You get your strength, agility, vitality, intelligence, and luck. At each level, certain characters are guaranteed to get a certain point, a certain stat increase. but the stats that I'm not guaranteed to get a stat increase in, there is a 25% chance that they get a stat. So if you're really trying to like min-max your characters, you probably want to just work on one character at a time, and you're gonna have to reset a lot. Well, I could go to the inn, but only about 2 more battles I'll gain enough thing to gain enough gold to gain to the inn. So I'm going to spend this gold real quick here to buy a few more spells. So let's buy the cure spell for Fibs, and we can use that to heal up to finish off these battles to gain enough gold to gain to the inn. And we'll buy Milo an attack spell. Now, your characters can only learn 3 of the 4 available spells. When I show off the magic screen, you'll see that. So you got to make a choice on which of the spell you want. So, for instance, every character has, see, you only have 3 spells there at first level, but there's 4 spells available, so you got to choose which ones you want. Luckily, though, there's a lot of spells in this game that are bugged and basically are useless, so it makes life a lot easier in terms of choosing what spells you want. So, but cure spell is definitely a good spell to get. So all the spells I got for Fibs, all good spells. So the black magic's a little bit easier to determine. Lock is completely useless. It basically is supposed to it's supposed to prevent makes you able to hit your target. Basically prevents them from avoiding your attacks, but I think it's bugged and doesn't work. So, but let's finish off these imps here. Now, for the most part, grinding I'm going to be doing most of my grinding off screen. So before I go to the Temple of Fiends, I want to get all my characters up to level 3 and gain the remaining spells that I want for Marty and Milo. Milo's going to want to get the lightning spell, Marty's going to want to get the fire, lightning, and the cure spell. So that'll be 400 gold right there. And then any gold that I get after that, I'll use to buy pure potions and heal potions. So up in the Temple of the Fiends, there's going to be actually some enemies that can poison you. Poison, if you're poisoned, you lose hit points with every step, and that makes a really annoying sound. So you want to get rid of that as soon as possible. So poison also moves characters that are poisoned to the back of the row down to the 4th slot. So it can potentially push one of your weaker characters up to the front where you don't want them to be, where they'll be taking attacks. So, but yeah, the main thing is gain those spells, and then I'll buy some pure potions and heal potions. So, because like I said, there's going to be some enemies along the way to the Temple of the Fiends that can poison us, and there'll also be enemies in the Temple of Fiends that can poison us. So yeah, we got quite a bit to go until we get to level 3, but I'll be doing that grinding off screen. So take care, see you in the next episode. Bye!